Let's go. Bo Nickel just had a crazy knockout. About to be a great main card. What's up, Jake? How you doing? Jake's back. What's up, everybody on live? Bo Nickel did win. He got a knockout in what was it, 30 seconds? 38-second knockout. Yeah, that minus 2,400 for Bo was well warranted. Well put, Jake. Well put. Everybody on live, join me on Millions. It links in my bio to join the stream. You can ask me questions on there. Yeah, we're watching the rest of the main card, so it's going to be a good one. A lot of good fights left. Bo Nickel just got a knockout. Robbie Lawler got a quick knockout, too, to end his career. That was awesome. Doesn't get much better than that to end a legendary career with a knockout. Most people don't get that privilege, and it was cool to see. Jake said, how often do fighters know those odds? I think you usually know. Depends. I mean, usually know if you're a pretty big underdog or not. I mean, in the UFC, it doesn't usually happen. It's not usually that big of a discrepancy for the most part. Usually it's like plus 190 and minus 200. But what's up, Shani D? But yeah, I mean, I've had people tell me my odds before fights, and sometimes you're like, the worst is when someone tells you that they placed a bet on you, and you're like, my fights, I've been like minus 2,000, and someone from our gym put quite a few thousand on me to win like probably a couple hundred, but the fact that they tell me that, then it makes me feel like I'm partly responsible if I lose for them losing thousands of dollars. So it makes it a little more nerve wracking, but usually, yeah, you got a pretty good idea. Dan Hooker's walking out right now. The blonde hair, the new shin tattoos. Jake said, thoughts on the Stipe versus Jones fight that just got announced. Who do you think wins? It's definitely going to be a good fight, that's for sure. I mean, Jones, I feel like Jones is going to win, but definitely can never count Stipe out, that's for sure. If Jones can, Jones is a little younger. He's got a lot of skills. He's probably faster. I just think Jones is too dynamic for him. But like I said, you can't ever count Stipe out. That's for sure. So for those of you that haven't checked it out, Millions is hosting the Ultimate Sports Fan giveaway. The winner will get 2 tickets to the sporting event of their choice. There's tons of ways to enter and unlimited entries. So go check it out on their IG. You won't be sorry. So definitely go check that out. Win 2 free tickets to a sporting event of your choice. That's millions.co. They got their IG. Go to their website. Definitely good giveaway they're doing. How do you feel about Robbie being done more time for training? Yeah, Robbie. Now that Robbie's done, um, it's bittersweet because now as a guy that trains at the gym with him, um, it's kind of cool because now I'll definitely have a lot of time to work with him and pick his brain. And I mean, in his last 2 years that I've been down here, he's been huge for um, all of us young guys. Robbie's helped me out a ton personally. I went to his house a lot, used a lot of his recovery stuff he's got. He's just very knowledgeable in every aspect of mixed martial arts, and he helped me early on with my striking, my box, just getting my footwork down. How to shadow box and work on getting my footwork and the basics, and he cornered me in my second fight. He's held pads for me. He just really helped me a lot, and now that he's going to be done, I know he's going to be back in there helping a lot of us young guys that are coming up, and it's going to be pretty sweet to have him around and have a guy like that that's been through the wars he has, and be able to pick his brain and have him in your corner, and it's going to be sweet. Thanks, Ethan. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, my next fight's going to be September 22nd. Just signed the contract the other day, so I'm going to be fighting at Mystic Lake Casino in Prior Lake, Minnesota. So going back home. Yeah, I'm really excited going back home. Probably be on the co-main or main event. So if you can, definitely a card to go see in person. Otherwise, it'll be on UFC Fight Pass. But I'm excited. I'm fighting a guy who's 6-1. It's a little step up for me, and I'm ready. I've been training every day, getting ready, and about to get into camp here in a couple weeks for that fight. So, I mean, get into camp. I'm always training every day, but focusing just on that fight over the next couple months. So. Lacus is doing good. He he was just over here earlier. Um, he's fighting in South Dakota, August 11th on Bellator. So I'll be up there in Sioux Falls for the Bellator card. Logan Storley's fighting. Blockus is fighting. Jordan Oliver's trying to get on the card too. I think we have like 5 guys from our gym that are going to be on the card, so it's going to be a good one. Definitely should go to that one. Thoughts on this entire Twitter versus Threads ordeal going on? Personally, sticking with Twitter. Yeah, Jake. I mean, I didn't really realize what was going on until I saw that tweet by Elon about the copy and paste, and that is kind of messed up what Zuckerberg's doing, just creating basically a new Twitter. I don't know how that's legal, but I'm definitely going to stick with Twitter for sure too. You're gonna get Threads, Kylie? Sticking with Twitter? You don't have Twitter?
I do.
Looks like Jalen Turner got kicked in the nuts, so we got an official timeout. If you had the opportunity to train Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg, who would you pick and why? Wow, Jake, what a question. I like Elon more, dude. He's got more of a personality. I feel like he kind of jokes around and he's got a little sarcasm, and I feel like Zuckerberg has no personality. I don't know if it'd be very realistic for me to train with Elon because he's a little bigger, but Zuckerberg would probably be more my weight class, but I definitely would rather spend time with Elon. But, if Zuckerberg wanted to pay me $10,000 to come out to California to train with him, I don't think I would say no. That's for sure. Brett Jones, what up? Hey, yeah, gotta shoot your shot, Jake. Gotta shoot your shot. Show him some wrestling. He's got a little jiu-jitsu, just bridge the gap between the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling. Who do I got in this fight? Turner versus Hooker. I like Turner more personally, but I don't know. Hooker looks like he's went with the blonde hair. He's got the new shin tattoos. Maybe he's a new man that he's been than he has been the last couple of years. Turner's been looking good though. Down at lightweight. So I'm pretty sure he came down from welterweight. That's probably why he missed weight by a couple pounds. Yeah, Hooker was definitely one of my favorite fighters. That's why I was really excited when that kick might have hurt him a little bit. I was really excited when him and Chandler were fighting. I knew that was going to be a good fight, but obviously Chandler caught him early. Those teep kicks are the front kick to the body. Those hurt more than you think. That big toe hits you right here when you're breathing. Your favorite fight of all time is Poirier Hooker. Yeah, that was a good fight too. Really good fight. I was actually just watching that fight the other day. Lincoln Robidoo, what up? It's a pretty good fight so far. Ooh. Jake said, so when you fly out to different areas to fight, does the promotion pay for all of that? Yeah, most of them do. LFA and Bellator is the two I've fought for so far, and they pay for you to fly out. They pay for one of your if you're prelims, it's for sure just one corner man. I don't know if your main card or main event, they pay for more, but they pay for your flight, your cornerman flight, your hotel room, And Bellator gave per diem also. So yeah, they pay for pretty much everything on top of for the fight paying you. So it's pretty good in that sense. I know there's probably some smaller promotions that maybe don't, but it's just harder to get guys to fight unless they're local, you know, because if you're only getting paid, you know, my first fight I think was like 500. So if you're only making that much, by the time you pay for, you got to have your physical, your eye exam, your blood work, all that costs $500 before the fight, before you even go out there, and then, um, if you had to pay for your own flight and hotel and all that, I mean, you'd be losing money on every fight. So definitely helps that they pay for all that. Thanks for the badge, Lincoln. Appreciate it. Jake said, "How important is mental health in the fight game, and what are some things you do to stay mentally strong?" It's definitely really important. I mean, you see guys that um, are really good fighters because they've shown it, and then maybe they go on a little skid, um, and a lot of that's mental more than anything than physical because you've seen them at their best physically and probably mentally at that time too. But then they go on a skid, and most of it's just mental when you go on skids and have a couple losses, and it's. I think for me personally, it gets tough some days when say you had sparring one day and you didn't have your best day sparring, and you lose to a couple guys in the room in a couple rounds, or you just don't feel as good as you can, and mentally it eats at you a little bit. But I just try to remind myself that it's just training, and you're gonna have great days in sparring, and you're gonna have bad days, and you just kind of have to stay somewhere in the middle the whole fight camp. But you can't get too high, you can't get too low. Some weeks I have an amazing week where I just feel everything, my timing, everything's just perfect. And some weeks it feels like I'm the worst fighter in the world, So it's that's definitely the hardest part mentally. But if you can just stay right in the middle and just know that, all right, today wasn't a great day, but tomorrow I'm just going to try to make it a good day, then that's how you keep building every single day and just get better every day. But it's just staying even keeled and just know that it's a process, and it's not just, you don't just go out there and win. It's a process. You got to work day by day, and physically you got to work, and mentally you got to work. So Jake said, "Definitely sounds tough, but I bet the fight that fires you up to get in the gym again the next day." Yeah, yeah. I mean, it fires you up. Sometimes it sometimes it puts you down a little bit, but it makes you want to come back and fix it. Usually when and sometimes you're not. Some days when you think you're having an off day or a bad day, um, you really weren't that bad that day. Maybe like you just felt like you just personally you didn't feel very good, but maybe your rounds weren't that bad, but in your head you thought you were doing terrible. And my coach Dieter does a good job of reminding me, great round, you had some good rounds, here and here and this, and it kind of brings you back to, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be you just dominating the other guy, right? He's trying to do the same to you. So I think in your head sometimes you overthink it, and if it's not a perfect round, or if you didn't absolutely dominate, you kind of think it didn't go well. But maybe you were doing good, you just had a couple positions. But yeah, so but it definitely fires you up to come back the next day and work. Or we train in the morning and the night, so coming in that night and working on what you felt like you were lacking in the morning. Hooker's going off right now in round 2. Could be a 1-1 fight right now. I don't know what the first round was like because I kind of wasn't paying attention too much, but wow. Hooker definitely won round 2. Turner is gassed right now. He's either hurt or gassed. Be an interesting round 3. Everybody on live, go over to millions.com, link in my bio. You can ask me questions on Millions that I will be answering on there. I just have 2 screens up right now, so I answer the questions on Millions. So if you want to ask questions, go over to millions.com or .co. Link is also in my bio. Yeah, Jake. That was intense. End of the second round. Sucks sometimes though when you lock up something like that rear naked that tight, but there's no time left. Kind of happened in that. I think Hooker's gonna win this one. I always love when people dye their hair blonde, and then they get all bloody and their hair turns red. Jake said, "Who is the most influential person in your career, and what's a funny story you have with them?" Influential person in my career. I mean, there's just so many guys down here. It's hard to say like one specific, but I mean, me personally, the guy who brought me down here to Florida was Logan Storley. He wrestled at the University of Minnesota right before I went there, and then called me up in 2021 and asked if I wanted to come fight. So that's when I ended up moving down here in the summer or in July of 2021. But a funny story I've had with him, well, quite a bit, I guess. Can't think of one specifically, but I don't know. I think one of the funniest was when he fought Neiman Gracie in a 5-round fight and won it, but Neiman's a jiu-jitsu guy and he's a wrestler, so neither of them ended up wrestling or grappling at all, because usually when 2 grapplers fight each other, it ends up being a striking battle. So the day he flew back from that fight, we went out and got a couple drinks, and his face was just beat to hell, and it was funny just walking around and people seeing his face and just the look on their faces when they saw his face. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of we golf every weekend together, and on the golf course there's always a lot of funny antics that happen. We get pretty competitive on the golf course. But yeah, even like Robbie's been very influential to me. Chandler, when he's down here, he helps me a lot when he's down here. He has helped me a lot with just kind of my shot entries, just movement on my feet. It's a lot of different aspects of MMA. It's just even Gilbert Burns. I love when he's in the room and I get to just pick his brain, whether it's I ask him a question or he's watching and sees something and tells me something. It's just it's always the amount of guys we have in the room. It's every day there's some kind of question I can ask someone that is an expert in an area of mixed martial arts, and there's always something to be learned every single day. Jake said, I've been trying to get into golf, but I'm scared I will suck so bad. Yeah, it's a tough game. Logan just got into it like 4 years ago for the first time, but if you're going to get into it, the best thing to do is go take lessons right away with a professional. It'll be like $50 an hour, but just go take lessons right away with like a swing coach or a golf professional at a course, so that they can like show you how to like swing good and how to make contact. And that's otherwise you're just going to be playing and trying to figure it out on your own, and it's such a intricate game. I've been playing it since I was like 6 years old, and I still suck. So if you're going to try to pick it up, that's what I would suggest. But then once you get into it and you start actually like you flush a ball for the first time, there's no turning back. Then you're just completely addicted to it. And you'll spend a lot of time and a lot of money on the game. Yeah, getting clean contact. It's like you always see the memes on Instagram like, I suck, I'm quitting. And then it's like you hit that one good shot and you're like, I'm back. But that's exactly how it is. You can hit 1,000 bad shots in a row and want to quit. But then that one good shot is what keeps bringing you back. It's like gambling, It's like you can lose, but then you get that one big win and it brings you right back. But yeah, it's fun with the boys too. We always go, me, Michael Blockus, Logan Storley, we golf every weekend together, and it's a good time hanging out with the boys. It gets competitive. We're all pretty similar as far as our handicaps, so sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, but it's always really close. It's always a good finish. That was a good fight. What's up, everybody? What are your thoughts on ex-UFC fighters coming back and fighting in other types of competitions or promotions, like GSP recently announcing his grappling competition taking place? I think it's good. You see that with a lot of the guys going to boxing. Like I'm sure Robbie will go do some kind of boxing event. Them coming back, it definitely still helps promote the UFC because that's what they were mainly known for. And these other promotions that are taking them on, it can help grow those promotions as well because of the name that they've built within the UFC, and now they can bring over some fans into their promotion. Maybe they just started it, so they want to get a big name. You see that with a lot of smaller promotions. They'll try to get guys who had big names, or like, for example, Masvidal, his Game Bred Boxing. He's got Junior Dos Santos is about to fight on that. So, getting these ex-UFC guys who have built their names in the UFC and then bring over some fans, and vice versa. I think it's good. It's hard. These guys retire. It's hard to just sit back and go from competing a lot to not competing at all. And maybe just training / coaching. It's hard because you still have that competitive fire, and you still want to go out and compete no matter what it is. That's why I'm sure GSP. That's why he's grappling now, because he doesn't necessarily want to be out there in the octagon trading blows with people, but he wants to do some kind of competition just to keep that competitive fire contained. Hooker gets the win. That was a good win by Hooker. Yeah, Jake, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't. 1 second, I'll be back. Rey Mysterio. It's funny is he always has to wear that mask.
Why?
Because no one knows what he really looks like. Because in WWE, he always wore a mask. It's like, the DJ Marshmallow? He always wears the helmet. It's kind of genius, though. Because that's, like, the biggest thing that sucks for, like, people who are celebrities is, like, you can't even have, like, a normal life. Like, you can't just, like, walk around and enjoy walking on the boardwalk in Pompano because everyone's going to be like, "Whoa, it's Justin Bieber!" But if you're Marshmallow, you can be, like, one of the most famous people in the world. And then you take that mask off and you just walk the beach of Pompano. No one has any idea who you are. You get the best of both worlds. Lake Lady Designs joined. Hey, Mom. Jake said it has to be hot in that mask, though. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty open, like, in here. It's not too bad. But, yeah. I just think it's probably be more uncomfortable than anything. But he's worn it for how many years? He's probably used to it by now. It's like a baseball cap to him now. Thanks for the badge, Mom. What's up, Elroy? How you been? Oh, yeah, they're doing the BMF title. Poirier versus Gaethje. That'll be a good fight. It's their second fight.
This is a badge. What does it do?
Gives me money.
What is it? Badges are special that appear next to your comments. You buy a badge, you're going to help Mitchell Mckee create more content.
This next fight gonna be crazy. You heard about Drakus getting his nose surgery, and now he can actually breathe good. Yeah, Drakus actually came down. I think his first fight in the UFC. He came and did his camp at our gym, and I talked to him a little bit. I actually did a raw egg challenge with him. We got a video of me and him. We cracked open and ate raw eggs. But he's a cool guy, and yeah, the nose surgery thing is gonna be. He's gonna need it in. He's gonna need the endurance in this fight for sure. Hey everyone, if you're an athlete, I have some cool news. Millions just launched an AI marketing campaign builder using ChatGPT AI. It lets brands build social campaigns, content campaigns, endorsements for athletes. If you want to be included, you just need to go to millions.so, sign up for free now. There are 5,000 marketers and businesses owners already signed up. Want more brand deals? Check it out. Yeah, Ngannou versus Fury set to be announced soon. Um, I don't know what they talked about there being kind of like stipulations to the fight, so that's what I'm kind of interested to see those before I say who I think wins the fight because um, obviously if Ngannou is able to take him down, if in the stipulations he's able to take him down, then that's going to be obviously Ngannou's going to win that fight because he can just get a takedown whenever he wants. But um, if it's like a more of just a boxing fight, then I think Fury wins. His length is just insane. I can't. I think what does he have, like a 90-inch reach or something like that? It's just absolutely ridiculous. But the length and the power he's got, and obviously the technique. But I feel like any of them punch me, I just disintegrate for sure. Either of them. I mean, either way. I mean, whether it's just a boxing fight or it's like a little bit of MMA and boxing mix. It's still going to be a good fight either way. I think people will still tune in, and that's really those kind of fights nowadays. Is those big fights? It's just a matter of who wants to see it, and I think everyone would want to see that. It'd be the ultimate. I mean, everyone's been waiting for like because like that's why the um, McGregor Mayweather fight was so big because it was like the clash of boxing and MMA. And I think this is the same deal. It's like a clash between MMA and boxing. And that's been the talk for however many years since MMA is kind of blown up is that would MMA can MMA fighters beat boxers or can boxers beat MMA fighters? So it's kind of been this like everyone's talked about it, but it's kind of hard because the rules are so much different, and obviously boxing is a big part of MMA, but it's a small part when you add all the martial arts together. But it'll be good. As a person who has no idea what it feels like to get rocked, to the best of your abilities, how does it feel like? I've been rocked a couple times. I mean, one time in training, I got kind of sat down to my butt, but it's just kind of like you just go a little blurry a little bit, and it sounded like a gong got rung off in my head. But as soon as I got sat down to my butt, and it depends. I mean, if you're not knocked out cold, you can recover rather quickly. Obviously, I didn't keep training after that because it was practice. But if it's not good to be knocked down like that in training, obviously. But I think for me, it was good just to feel it and know what that feeling's like, so that when it happens in a fight, I knew after that happened in training that if that did happen to me in a fight, then I'd be fine. I'd be able to cover and get through it. But yeah, I think it's you don't really know until it happens to you what it really feels like. And it just happened to me like not that long ago. So I've been fighting or training for probably a year and a half before I finally got like rocked. Went against a southpaw and I leaned a little bit too much to the side and got his left leg head kick to my jaw and it dropped me. But yeah, you don't really know until you feel it. But it you can recover pretty quick as long as you don't get knocked out cold. It's gonna be a good fight. Drickus is really blown up. I mean, if he wins this fight, he's how many? I think he's only had like 3 or 4 UFC fights, and he's already top 5. Wins this, he's fighting for the title. That's how you do it right there. Make a splash and go big. Izzy's your other favorite too. Rooting for Drickus just to change it up. Yeah. Whitaker's been the gatekeeper of this division for a while. And I don't know, it's tough. I mean, obviously a Whitaker-Izzy fight's going to be, even though it'll be their 3rd time they're fighting, it's going to be a banger. But like you said, it would be nice to get to change it up, get some new blood in there for the title. And Drickus has got some grappling, so I mean, it would be interesting him versus Izzy with his little bit of grappling he's got. But personally, I got Whitaker, but I don't know. Tonight's been about the underdogs, other than the Bo Nickel fight. It's been quite a few underdogs that have won tonight, so Drickus could definitely pull it off. I was going to do a parlay, too, with Robbie Hooker, who just won, and Drickus. No, not Drickus. I was going to do Robbie, Hooker, Pantoja, and Volkanovski. So far, I'd be 2 for 2.
Figure out how long you have this.
Mm-mm.
How do you know?
If I were a podcast host and could get anyone to jump on, who would you invite? Could give 3 names since it's a tough question. Oh, who would I invite? That is a tough question. I think I would do Donald Trump. I'd love to pick his brain. And who else? I'd probably go with. God, that's a tough question. Maybe probably Conor McGregor, just because he's a character. I think it would just make for a good podcast to have him on there. And then, who I've been very intrigued with lately is Sean Strickland. He's given the most insane interviews. If you haven't watched some of them, you got to go watch some of Sean Strickland's interviews. He is just a crazy man and has no filter. Like he just says whatever is on his mind. And I think he would give the funniest podcast ever. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people I would pick. I mean, even a guy like Theo Vaughn would be funny to have on there. Um, God, there's so many people. It'd be fun though to do a podcast and have people on, just talk to them, get to learn a little bit about people and where they came from, how they grew up, what they think about the world. Yeah, Jake, you watched that Joe Rogan with Sean Strickland in the first it was like in the first 20 minutes when they were talking about Izzy. That was funny. Yeah, even if you just watch the first 20 or 30 minutes, it's hilarious. Whitaker's 8-1 as a UFC favorite, and he closes at minus 226. God, this fight's gonna be good.
Tyler, nothing's done. She's at the first center.
She is?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Knuckles, most likable fighter in the UFC. Bobby Knuckles. Yeah. Ooh, check that kick. I feel like Whitaker, just because he's just so, he's not underrated, but like if if you just think about it, like if Israel Adesanya never came to MMA, Whitaker would probably be the champ for the last like 5 years. He's beaten everybody else in the division other than Israel. He's got such a good like. He's very light on his toes for middleweight. Bounces, he gets out of range, keeps his hands low, which is a blessing and a curse sometimes because when you keep your hands low, when you punch, it's harder for them to see the punch coming because if it comes from here, it's at their eye level. If it comes from down here, it's harder for them to see it. But at the same time, obviously, your defense, your guard's not up. But if you're good at moving and getting out of range, then you can keep your hands low. But Whitaker does just a great job of staying on his toes, moving in and out, keeping his hands low, head movement. Oh, Whitaker goes for the takedown and he gets it. Oh! Nope. Dricus is in a bad spot right now. Not a good spot at all. He's coming up, though. He's back to his feet. What are some exercises you do on fight day to stay focused mentally and not let the jitters or anxiety intrude your mind? I don't do too much. Usually on fight day, I just do like a little shakeout in the morning, just to get the body moving, get the food I had after weigh-ins the day before, getting through my body, and then just do the hard warm up before the fight. But for me, it's I just keep telling myself that I've had a lot of wrestling matches. I've been in a lot of different competition, and this is nothing new. It's just competition, and that's why I think you see Bo Nickel doing so well is because even though he's only 5-0, it's because he has wrestled probably 5,000 matches in wrestling in his life, and he's wrestled at the highest level. And he's wrestled he's won 3 NCAA titles. And if you've ever watched NCAA D1 wrestling, when it's the finals, it's one mat in the center of an arena, and they do it at Madison Square Garden. Like, they've had NCAAs there. So it's you and one other guy wrestling in an arena packed. So it's the same thing as here. And so you've kind of experienced that in wrestling before. If you've wrestled at the highest level, you've experienced that, having to walk out with an entire arena watching, or sometimes people who came from striking backgrounds or whatever, that didn't get that kind of competition, haven't just experienced that, having that, all those eyes on you and all that pressure that comes with that. And I think that's what I lean on fight day is that I just keep telling myself that I've been there, and I've been at the highest level of wrestling, and this is no different. And it helps calm me down and just go out there and compete, just be free. Blanca said, "How much for you to let Kylie cut your hair tonight on the stream?" And then my mom said, "I'm in for $20." If it gets to, I'm not even going to say a number because then it's going to happen. I'm not playing these games. I don't want to cut it yet. Give me a little bit longer. Just give me a little bit longer. I'll maybe cut it before my next fight, but for when the girl comes, I want pictures of me in the hospital with the big mullet, so I look like Kurt. Hi, Julie.
She's patiently waiting for her granddaughter.
You waiting for the grandbaby? Or granddaughter, I guess I can say, since we know the gender. Jake said, "I know you mentioned Marshmallow. You into EDM?" I was more like in college a little bit more, not as much anymore. I liked like Avicii and Marshmallow around that time that Avicii came out with all those hits. I kind of liked the more EDM where it had like the singer in it, and then obviously the bass would drop. Now I feel like sometimes the EDM is just so much like not enough like vocals in it. I still like all the vocals in it, but yeah, I really like Marshmallow, Avicii, Calvin Harris. Trying to think. Yeah, I was into it a lot in like freshman, sophomore year of college. But I just watched. What was I just watching? Oh, they did the Caleb Presley did the Sunday Conversation with Marshmallow. That's why he was fresh in my mind. But it is what I was talking about earlier. It is kind of crazy. Yeah, Caleb Presley's cool. I love all his like. I don't know how he stays so serious in the interviews when he just says the most ridiculous stuff. It's kind of it's an art, or like it's a talent. Being able to like say some really funny stuff and stay completely straight faced while you're saying it, and then simultaneously while the guy that you say it to is cracking up. It's kind of hard to do that for sure. Um, I definitely can. If I say something and people start laughing, and I just, or if someone says something funny, I it's hard for me to keep a straight face. Oh wait, did Whitaker just get dropped? Kyle, Kyle, Kyle,
Watch.
Kyle, Kyle. I think it's fine. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Oh my God. The underdogs. The underdogs have came to win. Oh my God. It's Drickus versus Izzy now. Oh my God. Izzy just was standing up, just staring. Wish I could hear his interview right now. Izzy's just staring at him. Oh my God. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Drickus du Plessis with the KO. TKO. Wow. I did not see that coming. Wow. Crazy. Ooh. Is that what sat him down? The jab? Sat him down with the jab. Oh, that body shot. You watching this, Kyle? Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, Jake. Wow is right. Is he going to go up there? Is Izzy going in the cage? They're going to sell the hell out of this fight between him and Israel. Because he's been talking mad crap about Israel. Because he's from South Africa, and like he was born in Africa, but then moved to um, New Zealand, and so he's like been talking about like I'm a real African, and like every day I wake up and breathe African air. Wow. Good for him. He's a nice dude, like I said, he came down to our gym for like a month or two for one of his camps, and you would have never known, he was a rising star in the UFC. Like he didn't act like it. He just acted like a nice dude, and Didn't talk shit, just worked hard in the gym. And funny guy. It's good for him. He's going to get that title shot now. That's for sure. Izzy is pissed. Look at him. He's just staring at him. Wow. Who wins that fight, Jake says. God, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to answer that right after Drickus just did that, you know? But I think there's a lot of, Drickus versus Izzy. Brennan Allen's coming up. I mean, to beat Izzy, you definitely got to mix in the grappling. You can't just stand and bang with him because he's good at that. It's going to be a hell of a fight, and they're selling it right now. I can't hear what they're saying, but I know they're selling it right now. They are selling the fight. They are selling it right now. Izzy, why do you paint your nails, bro? Look at him. He's got gloss nails.
I don't know what they're saying.
I don't know. Wow. I can't tell if they actually hate each other or if they're just like talking it up. I mean, the more you hate each other, you know, the more tickets get sold and the more money they pay you. You know what I mean? Chael Sonnen was very good at that. Made a whole career off of it. But based on the Twitter fingers that both of them have had, I would say they probably hate each other. Mark Wahlberg, always wearing the same thing. Kamaru Usman. Jamal Hill. Uriah Faber in the building. Wow, what a fight. 2 more bangers left.
You should ask. That way they can hear it.
I might have some more cold pasta.
Oh, I forgot we had that.
Dude, that was good. Like, you did good. That was a very good idea. I'm getting that clutched up. Oh. Title fights now. You're on a roll, Mitch. Underdog again. Yes. I picked this one actually early. I thought Pantoja was going to... Like, I had a parlay. I didn't place it, but I was going to place a parlay on Robbie, Hooker, Pantoja, and Volk. And if I would have added someone in, I would have added Drickus, but I just wasn't super confident on that one. But obviously, he got the job done. I think Pantoja wins this one right here. and then you can't really. I mean, God, that Volk Rodriguez fight's going to be a banger too. It's hard because Volk is very sound. Like his basics is he's so sound. He's got his style down to a T. But Rodriguez is just a wild man. He'll throw anything and everything at you, and he's super athletic. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a good fight, but it's hard to bet against Volk after what he's been doing the last couple of years. But I like Pantoja in this next one. Hard when you've lost to someone twice. I mean, it's hard to get to win against someone 3 times, definitely is. But it's also mentally hard when you've lost to someone twice already. It's hard to get over that hump mentally. Top 5 flyweights. They still got Figueiredo in the flyweight rankings. I thought he was moving up to bantamweight. Jake said, "How do film sessions even look like?" Wait. How do film sessions even look like that after 2 fights? Don't you just overthink everything? Um, Depends. I mean, I guess yeah, depends if he does overthink it all or I think the key for Moreno is probably not overthinking it and just doing what he's been doing lately because yeah, those 2 fights were a while ago, I think they were like 7 years ago is when they fought on the Ultimate Fighter, and then maybe like 5 years ago was when they fought their first fight in the UFC against each other. So it was so long ago that I don't think you can really look at those fights in film and say, we need to fix this because maybe you've already fixed it. I'm we know that Moreno is a whole different fighter than he was 5 and 7 years ago. So it's tie. I golfed with you and Logan in Florida at Atlantis like a year and a half ago. Oh yeah, I remember that. What's up? It's been a while. You've been golfing lately? What? Remy, come here. Come here.
Tired.
Come here.
We're done.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh. You're tired, doggy. You're tired. Jake said, "Man, would have so much money if we bet, but when I actually bet, I lose." That's yeah, that's exactly what happens, Jake. I haven't done much betting in a while, but I feel like lately my picks have been pretty decent, and but I haven't placed any bets. But I guarantee if I started betting again, I would lose. Just like you were talking about, I'd overthink it. Versus right now, you're just picking based on your gut because you don't actually have any money on the line. But then once you actually put your own money on the line, you overthink it, and then you flip flop and you know Ty, I just had started jiu-jitsu like 2 months before we golfed. Nice. So you've been doing it for like coming up on what, 2 years, year and a half, 2 years? That's good. Keep doing it. How many days a week do you go? Yeah, shoot. If I had a bet tonight, just individual fights, put money on Robbie. I think he was plus like 190. So I would have paid like $10 would have paid 19, or like 100 would have paid 190 plus your 100 back. So you win. So if you put 100, say you had 100 in your account, you put 100 down, you end up having 290 in your account after that. And then if I would have put money on Hooker, he was like plus 175, so that's $100 to win 175. That'd be 275 in your account. And then Drickus was like, dude, Drickus was like plus 200 and something, I think. So that's another couple $100. The doggy. She tired. So, guys, if you're a brand looking for an athlete to partner with for your upcoming campaign, look no further. Millions has made this process super easy for both you and athletes just like me to run a successful campaign or event. If you want to book them with me, hit the book button or book me button on my profile now, and Millions will do the rest. But yeah, Millions has a ton of athletes on their website, so it's super easy to book athletes for any brand campaigns you want to do. Definitely would check it out. What's that? Jake said, if you had a fight tomorrow, what would your walkout song be? Oh, so all of my fights so far, I've done AC/DC for every single one. So, but I've changed up the song every time. Um, I don't know. My dream, all I'll say is this: what I really want to do is UFC main event, Hell's Bells. Walk out to Hell's Bells. Just have the intro, like the super long intro, and then walk out when the drums come in. Doo, 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 doo. That would be actually awesome. But yeah, I mean, so I'm kind of saving that one specifically for that, but probably an AC/DC song. You were doing like 4 or 5 days a week. Got your blue belt last summer. Wow, that's good. But I've slowed down due to some injuries and skin infections lately. Yeah, skin infections. I've been going around. I just had a staph infection in my knee. Not fun. Not fun at all. But that's good. That's cool. You got your blue belt. All right, they're walking out. Let's go. Jake said, in the promotions you have fought in, how does the process of picking your swag work, like shorts, colors, and such? So for our gym, Killcliff, we actually work with the Takedown Shop, which is a clothing brand. So they make all of our fight kits for us, which is super awesome. So we just get a link from Jamie Gall, who works at our gym, and she really just is the glue that holds our gym together. But she sends us our link, and we go and we fill it out with our shorts, colors, size, whether we want compression shorts or just like shorter shorts. We have to send in all of our sponsors, and then Takedown makes our whole fight kit for us. We have actually some really cool fight kits. You can go on my Instagram and see some of them, but they make our whole fight kit. We can customize them however we want, and they give our corner men get shirts and everything, and it's really cool actually. But for other places, I mean, other people, I think you kind of have to do it yourself, or maybe your management will help put that together for you. But that's the beauty of our gym is I think with Killcliff, we've really made it like a professional gym, like where we have sponsors, we have different things that get done for us. We get gear from Takedown, we get these different things, a lot of perks, and it just helps make the fight life a lot easier. So you're not having to do all these things yourself. You know, like I said, we have Jamie Gall there that works full time for us, and if we have questions or problems or whatever, we can go to her and she can help us figure them out. So it's been pretty awesome being at Killcliff, because it's just I know a lot of other people that are at other gyms, and there's a lot of things that they got to do for themselves. Like they make my management and our gym make our banners for us and our gear for us. So it just takes that stress of having to figure that out right before you're about to go to fight week. Takes that away from you, and they handle it. They send it right to the hotel, so it's waiting there for you when you get to your fight. So it's nice. I'll actually show you one of my shirts. Yeah, so here's one of the shirts right here. That this was my second fight, so they customize it. Like I picked the red, white, and blue. They put your name down the back. Here's are the fight shorts that go with it. And then this was my third fight, I think. I did more of a camo one there. It's like a maroon camo, burgundy. But yeah, I get to customize it every time. It's pretty cool. And Takedown's got a lot of other cool gear. Just regular shorts, you customize your own stuff. But yeah, Jake, I'm gonna be putting some memorabilia, some stuff like that on the Millions website. So, and I'm working on making some gear right now. But yeah, I'm gonna have hopefully by my next watch party, I'm gonna do UFC 291. So keep that date in mind. But by then, I'll have some memorabilia and some merch up on the website. And then also, I got my fight coming up in September, so I definitely want to get some some merch out so people can, buy it and wear it either to the event um, or while they're watching at home. Yeah, UFC 291 is going to be a good one for sure. That Poirier Gaethje fight right there is going to be a banger. Any ideas on designs? So I'm working right now to make my own logo. But the reason it's taking me so long is because I'm trying to really make it like not just any kind of logo. I want to make it mean something to me too. So I'm working on making a logo with my name, but kind of each letter of my name is a different symbol that kind of also looks like the letter, that some kind of symbol that represents a part of my life. For example, the M will be the Minnesota Gopher, University of Minnesota M. The I will be a palm tree, and so on. So every letter will kind of be a different symbol, so it'll kind of have a double meaning as far as for my name and for the symbolism within it. So yeah, I'm working on that right now. So trying to make sure it's perfect before I release it. But I kind of personally, I like to do shirts that have like a smaller logo here, and then maybe something big on the back, like a graphic on the back. I like to keep it simpler, not too much going on the front. Oh my God, Moreno, it's dropped. He's got dropped twice. Is this over, Kyle? Huh? See, here's a problem. I can totally see Moreno coming back from this. It's totally something he would do. Get dropped a couple times in the first round. Seems like it's all over. And then storm back. But Pantoja's looking good. Oh! That hook hurt. That hook's been landing. Pantoja's got a lot of power, too, for 125. Like, usually that's, like, the one thing about 125 is, like, guys, oh. Uh-oh. Woo! Pantoja is working him right now. Wow. He's cut bad, too. All right, guy, Jake. I think I'm going to end the stream there. Kind of want to turn the audio on for the rest of the card, but it was fun. It was fun talking to you, Jake. I hope you tune in for the UFC 291. And yeah, I'll definitely try to have some merch and some memorabilia out by then. But appreciate you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you. Peace.